Hello, I'm Lisa, and my informational speech is going to be about a brief history of makeup. Okay. Now, can anyone in the world imagine life without makeup? For most women, and even men, makeup is an essential part of our daily routine. In fact, most people will not even leave the house without wearing at least a basic foundation. As influential as makeup has been for thousands of years, not many people appreciate the origin of such seemingly essential items. It took hundreds of years to perfect pigments such as red, blue, and especially purple, which was exclusively worn by royalty. Only recently did these colors become more mainstream and more accessible. Miss Solania from the Neoterama website states that Egyptian societies wore makeup as early as 4000 BCE, which essentially makes them the first people to use any form of makeup. This, however, was more of a way to please their gods rather than find a potential suitor. The more makeup worn, the more valuable to the gods they thought they would be. Just as people from millennia ago wore pigmented powder to attract attention, so do people in this day and age wear makeup to either go out and look good or just to give yourself some self-confidence. As crazy as it seems that such modern products originate from ancient civilizations, without their innovative technology and skill at pigmentation, we wouldn't have nearly as many beauty products as we do now. Because people from thousands of years ago experimented with different pigments and colors, we now have hundreds, if not thousands, of makeup brands all over the world that still use those same types of pigments used thousands of years ago. Now, many people could debate that the origins of facial makeup were primarily for women and purely cosmetic. However, several other people are convinced that makeup was used for religious or ceremonial reasons on men and women. Whatever the true reason for makeup was in ancient times, its modern uses still resonate with its original purpose, to enhance your features. An extremely common misconception about makeup is that it has always been used primarily by women. This simply is not true, as there are many documented cases of men wearing makeup to enhance their features. Wearing makeup was actually viewed as all gender inclusive longer than it's been considered for women only. Amanda Montel writes from the website Birdie, stating, and I quote, "The influential Queen Victoria I of Great Britain deemed cosmetics vulgar, a view corroborated by the Church of England. During the Victorian era, makeup was considered an abomination by both the Crown and the Church, creating strong, widespread associations between makeup, vanity, femininity, and the devil's work." End quote. These views created many negative opinions about why people wore makeup, yet from ancient civilizations like Egypt up until the 18th century, makeup was regarded as something everyone could use, regardless of gender. Much like men wearing high heels fell out of fashion, the same thing happened with men wearing makeup. The extreme views of vanity caused by wearing makeup made people afraid of using it out of fear of harassment, or worse, persecution. Soon enough, makeup became widely associated with bad behavior, impurity, and almost overnight was deemed for evil women only. While most people in the 18th century abandoned the idea of colorful, loud makeup, they also forgot the original meanings behind wearing such colors, leaving behind a rich history of religious meanings and the true origin of facial makeup. Before makeup was even considered something to impress potential suitors, it was mainly used in religious and pagan ceremonies. The point of putting colorful markings on the face and body was to connect with their ancestors, gods, or spirits, as they thought it would bring them closer to their deities and find favor with them. Julia Wolkoff writes from the CNN Style section of their website, and I quote, "Ancient Egyptians didn't only apply makeup to enhance their appearances, cosmetics also had practical uses, ritual functions, or symbolic meanings. These historical documentations further prove that while many figures of royalty wore face paint as a way to point out their social status, many others believed that these face markings would grant them a better afterlife. All over ancient ruins can be found depictions of people performing ceremonies, and many involved applying pigment to the face and body. Certain symbols would mean certain things depending on what the individual was praying for. So many cultures, from Egypt to Rome to Scotland, facial makeup or paint was meant to symbolize freedom, nobility, and war. One thing that relates all cultures that apply face paint or makeup is facial makeup was believed to be symbolic towards their beliefs, their religion, and their culture. Whether or not the true origin of makeup was for purely cosmetic reasons, or if it began with a deeper meaning for people to connect with the spiritual world, the impact that cosmetics have had over the centuries has been monumental, and possibly one of the oldest practices still used today. At the end of the day, however, facial cosmetics were initially discovered and perfected. There will always be people debating on what it was for in ancient times. Was it just for stating social status among a culture, or was it for something much more spiritual? While many debate that makeup was exclusively for women, many historical accounts depict ancient men wearing just as much, if not more, makeup than women. Whatever people choose to believe, the origins of one of the most popularly bought products in the world started small and took years to perfect. That deserves some amount of respect and praise. It deserves a lot of praise. As I stated before, I strongly doubt that any person could imagine a world without makeup. It is a practice that dates back millennia, and although its practices and uses have changed, it's always important to remember and appreciate the origins of something so important to modern day living. All right, that's my speech. Thanks for watching.